Pregame.com.
NFL Sunday action. Arizona Cardinals visit the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined here with Stephen Nover. Stephen, this is your video best bet of the week. We're coming right out of the chute with your best one. Tell us who you like and why, and I'll see if I can counterpunch you.
Well, Baltimore's laying a hefty number, 12 and a half, 13 points in that range. I like Baltimore to absolutely crush Arizona.
Absolutely crush Arizona? Well, there's no question they got to be motivated after the egg they laid on Monday Night Football. That's got to be one of the worst Monday night games I've seen. I mean, and that was on the heels of the Sunday Night Football game that we saw last week where Indianapolis got blown out. I got to be honest with you. And again, when I did the card and I looked at it for the first time, I was working the card while the Monday night game was going on. I'm looking at this week's games. And I circled, I don't know, might have been while I was eating a big sandwich because this was a sandwich game. I circled, this was a bad spot for Baltimore.
Yes.
I was, scheduling wise, I said, this is going to be great. I got it. Arizona's going to be coming in as a big dog. Baltimore is going to be coming off a Monday Night Football game, so you got a short week. And then they've got, without a doubt, their biggest game of the football season next week, Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh. It was a great spot to go against them, but then they went and lost on Monday Night Football. How do you think that, obviously you like Baltimore, so you got to think that that's going to be light the fire, and it's got to be a bad week of practice for them.
I see it that way, Marco. I see, and I realize they have Pittsburgh on deck, and that game is, obviously far, far more important than Arizona. They need to get their swagger back. They need to get their confidence back, and how they do that, they crush Arizona. And Arizona is the perfect patsy. They've lost, I believe, their last 9 road games, 2-7 against the spread in that span. They have a history of not even giving up at these tough road venues, and this certainly, Baltimore is one of the tougher road venues. Baltimore has the best defense in the league, both in yardage and in points allowed. Kevin Kolb has not done the job. He's out of excuses. I don't want to hear that he was set back by the lockout. We are in week 8. He had 2 weeks to prepare against Pittsburgh. Watch the game. He's still skipping passes to these guys. Looks terrible. No Beanie Wells, their top running back. They're down to, and remember, Marco, they lost Ryan Williams at the start of the season. He was supposed to be, to actually challenge Wells for a starting spot. So they're down to 3rd and 4th string type running backs. They're encountering a very angry Baltimore team who I think after laying that egg in Jacksonville came up with the brilliant idea, let's give the ball to Ray Rice. Let's get it in his hands. I think Ray Rice touches the ball far more than he did against Jacksonville. That's a key to Baltimore's offense. Flacco, terrible on Monday on the road, has a history of playing much better at home. Baltimore is far more intimidating at home. Arizona is bad both home and the road, but they're even far worse on the road. And I see it as a kill spot. I realize the line is high. They're taking into account the differences of the two teams. But you factor in the situational element, Baltimore coming off that humiliating, embarrassing loss on national TV. They really took a hit in prestige. Before that game, they were being considered as a potential Super Bowl team.
Right.
Now they're a laughingstock. Now you got the perfect patsy for them to take their frustration out on.
Well, they've had 2 bad games this year that are just inexcusable. The Jacksonville game on Monday, and if you remember earlier in the season, they went, I think it was at Tennessee, Baltimore.
Flat spot,
just,
yeah.
Off of the Pittsburgh win, and they just laid an egg there, too. Do you worry at all? Again, Arizona has the weapons, but Kevin Kolb's not been able to use them. Do you worry about the back door a little bit in a game like this?
And I don't think they have the weapons with Beanie Wells out. He actually was having a breakthrough year.
Yeah,
he's
I
hurt.
agree.
He's hurt every year. He's hurt again. He's down. Fitzgerald is great, but they double team him, and that's it. I don't like. They lost Breston. They don't have the receiving depth that they had before. Their offensive line is very average to below average. Kolb looks lost out there. If they had any kind of backup, they may make the change. They don't. They're very inexperienced backups. They have to stick with Kolb. And
There's no way they can make a switch. You
No.
don't make a trade for a
Right.
franchise type player like that
But,
signing
yeah.
and then bench him.
No,
You
you're
can't.
right, Marco. But my point is, Kolb has played so bad that that's been thrown out as a consideration. That's how bad he's played.
Well, there you have it. Stephen, give us a projected score.
I would call it Baltimore in a slam dunk, 34-6.
34-6 in a slam dunk.
Just
A
kill
basketball reference. That's the only basketball references you're going to get right now for a while with the NBA lockout. But
Yeah.
there you go. Stephen Nover's video best bet is to take Baltimore. He's got him in a blowout. Stephen, you've got a big play on Sunday, don't you?
I do. It's a very strong AFC matchup. So strong, I've been waiting all month for it. I'm going to call it my game of the month, my October game of the month, my AFC October game of the month. Very strong on this game.
You've had a great run with your 3 stars, and Stephen's always been known as a great NFL capper, 17 winning seasons out of 18, and he's had a tremendous run with his 3 stars. So check out Stephen's AFC game of the month on Sunday. I'm Marco D'Angelo. He's Stephen Nover. We're coming right back. We're going north of the border. We're going to go Washington, Buffalo. They're playing it in Canada. We'll be right back.